Hi, good evening everyone. Today I'll be speaking on women of color and gender wage gap, hashtag same pay for same job. The gender wage gap is the difference in earnings between the men and women in the same workplace. Ladies, do you all think women are now receiving the same pay as men do get in the same job? No, this is not true. According to the United Nations, in 2015, they published a report concerning the persisting inequality between women and men wage, and which is alarming, becoming wider and wider. Few years before, I was in Shenzhen for an official trip, visiting my third-party production unit. There was a farewell party happening for a lady staff. They asked me to join. I was kind enough to join that party. It was same notice party. We had a fun and we resumed office. Later on, I want to congratulate the female staff who is retiring the day. I went to a place and I found out she was working in a conveyor belt where her job is to make sure the screw is neither so tight nor so loose in order to have the conveyor flowing. And I understand from the fellow colleagues that the wage rate for men is much higher than the women. That means for all her life, she was doing this job for a very less pay. That's so alarming. No progress, monotonous job, and a wage disparity as well. And there's no growth. And she has retired from the same position with very less pay. This happens not only in China, but all across the world. So this is how we say women pay is much less compared to the men. Shockingly, women are not even paid for many works. For instance, the domestic work and the chorus, which is handled in day-to-day life. My mom, she is an expert in gardening. She was a great cook. She was a craftswoman. She took care of us, all of us, and she was doing everything as an accountant and daily errands and everything. But she was not paid anything. And this is the situation for every woman across the world, whether working or not. And the domestic work are undervalued. This is another concern we have. Women are very smart, emotionally stronger, lives longer. They are very meticulous. They care each and everything, and they are very sincere. Still, there is a disparity of wage based on color, based on gender, and narrowing down based on other criteria as such. This, in, this is a discrimination, right? A big problem we have, the gender bias. Does it exist? Really and indeed it exists. Women are treated very differently across all the industries. If you see most of the industries, they are men dominated industry and women's participation are much, much lesser. Say, for instance, the shipping and logistics industry, especially and in particular the warehouse, you cannot see many women in that sector. Construction industry, for another example. There are so many industries where women's participation is much, much lesser. The biggest industry, the politics, if you see, women are much lesser. There is no equality there. Hopefully, it should change. The thing is, even if you consider the superpower United States of America, not even a single female president has come in. Just in the recent election, we have Kamala Harris of different color, women of different color, has come in. Hopefully, when she resumes office in 2021, things will be more better. We hope. Even a developed country like UK, much developed country where it controls a continent like Australia, still there is a disparity in the wage pay between men and women. In fact, to say, in UK, after the childbirth, the value of a woman gets diminished. How is it possible? Experience cannot be depreciated at all, right? But it's happening, not for men, for women. As per Forbes, they are they have checked the gaps between the wage rate between men and women, and accordingly, out of 153 nations, Pakistan is at number 144, Kenya at number 109, Iran, there is no possibility because of its political and other policies discriminating women. There's no true figure out of that. In fact, to say it's just less than 15% of women who are in the work field. This is really alarming. Every country has got a different style of not paying the right wage to the female staffs, the women sectors, the women employees. On the other hand, Mexico, which is one of the best top 5 nations where the women and men wage rate is not much difference, there's not much gap. We can compare the top 5 countries like Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Spain, Mexico, and Bosnia, Herzegovina, UK, and so on. These are the top countries. According to Maclean, the Canada's biggest current affair magazine, it's read by 2.4 million readers. It comes up with a report, a survey saying that women's wage rate is just 64% compared to men. In case of Aboriginal women, this is much even lesser, which is 46%. That is alarming in a country like Canada. As the former president of US, Barack Obama says, if a woman runs a country, there will be an equality in everything and there will be an improvement in living standards and outcomes will be good. He rightly said. Hopefully, let the world be with women, at least in the next generation. Having said about US, if you see, only 7 out of 100 CEOs are from the high pay scale. 7 out of 100. Rest all not earning that much. So 93:7 is not a good ratios at all. There has to be equal pay, equal participation. We need to have a solution for that. Let's see some solutions. Foremost, the concept should be changed. Changing the wage rate paradigm of a woman. I call it as a paradigm because I like the word paradigm. Mental map keeps changing, but let's not accept it. Women's, let's not accept it. The map convincing the women to accept. Now we need to go away from that and take other steps. Number one, the government should enforce equal wage rate. Every country and every country having a government should enforce this. Increasing the minimum wage rate. As we saw, female workers are drawing much less compared to the male workers. That should be changed. Importantly, there should not be any harassment or violence against the women. Number four, there has to be a judicial and legislation and execution of law in which women contribution in the workplace has to be equal to men and their wage rate has to be in par with men. These are some of the solution which we can able to provide, but it is our moral ethics that should control our mind to accept this and should have a gender unbiased society. For instance, in Canada, everyone can urge a provincial government to make equal pay as a reality for all working women in Canada. So let's start from there. There is an option, let's utilize it. And let's get into the next level. How good it will be to visualize if men and women working equally. As I said, like there are so many industries which doesn't have female workers. Should be having female workers 50-50 ratios. That would be ideal, right? Shipping and logistics industry, real estate, health and hygiene, tourism, technology, artificial intelligence. These are the industries which has less women population, should have more women workforce. There should be an equal number of male ministers in compared to female ministers in every country, in every administration. There should be equal number of male and female astronauts working together. There should be equal number of male and female leaders in all the developed, developing, and underdeveloped countries. With the acceptance of remote work, there is a fair chance given to women to work as per their wishes. That should be taken as an advantage and that should not quantify a fewer salary to them. So let's have a solution, have a visualization that everywhere women's participation is higher and it has to be equal. According to Universum survey, it shows that the narrowest gap between men and women is only in Malaysia. There are some other countries as well, but Malaysia has given a priority ahead of other countries. Now, how to action it? How to start? Start with this generation. Start now. Start today. Let the next generation be gender unbiased. When I joined my company is into freight forwarding and logistics. Out of like 300 plus employees, only 20 women were working in the entire head office and branches. And within a year, I could able to change it to almost like 60-40%. Importantly, I increased the wage of all the female employees to that level so that their contribution was benefited the company's growth. They were happy, company was happy. So there was a gender mix. Still, we are looking for more options to empower women. We have a back office which was created in India, where we have 90% female workers. So out of that, and that is inclusive of physically challenged as well. These are the things which we have to take into priority to get things done, established. And women should target every industry. Let's analyze the answer for how to make your workplace balance with proper mix of gender and with rational wage pay. Although there is a progress, it's not enough. There's a long way to go. There is an organization called He for She that encourages everyone to draw awareness to the gap and take action. I'll be like forwarding a couple of petitions where you can sign in, and let's give equal priority for women working along with us. Please sign it. That's my request. Women empowerment is not just women's problem. It is universal problem. It is our problem. In addition to women fighting for their gender equality and equal pay, men in large should take this initiative forward and find a solution to work along with the women. This will help us to have a better generation in the coming years. You're doing this not just for you, you're doing this for your mother, for your sister, for your wife, your daughter, your friend. Let everyone be empowered and let everyone be equal. Equity is all important. Hashtag same pay for same work. Thank you. Appreciate. Bye.